My microphone was off whole time. But anyway, right, I basically just pointed out that price is finding itself tapping within a breaker, right, over here. Price is finding itself tapping within a breaker, right? Here we can basically see, if I maybe can just box out this area for you guys, something like that, and then that, right? Here we can simply see that we had a closure above the body of this candle, right? And to me, that is more than enough, right? That is more than enough confluence. Check that out. There we had the closure above, right? So what I am expecting price to do at this current moment is just simply have that beautiful shift back towards the upside. I did find myself giving this trade some breathing space, as it is FOMC that is finding itself opening up, right? So we need to be quite, we need to give the trade some breathing space, right? We need to give the trade some breathing space. We do have 1 minute left. We have 1 minute left for FOMC to find itself opening up, right? So let us find ourselves waiting and being patient, right? Me, Diego, I don't find myself using fundamentals, right? As I don't really understand fundamentals that much, right? I just simply found myself using my technical analysis, right? I will find myself going back to the DXY, basically just telling you guys why I want to find myself looking for some beautiful, long opportunities on this beautiful pair, right? But we are going to wait out the next 13 or 10 seconds that is left for the FOMC, right? I do know a whole lot of people is finding themselves waiting on this moment, and yeah, we have it, right? The FOMC is open. Let's go. Let us find ourselves waiting on what can potentially happen. Hey, is price like freezing or what? Oh, it's not freezing. All right, let's go. Nah, come and create a wick. Come and create a wick, NASDAQ. Please come and create a wick. Right? Because if we're not gonna find ourselves creating the wick and we're just gonna go up, 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 there's still a high possibility of us then having that shift back towards the downside, filling up this wick right over there, right? And let's see if it is like a significant area. Not that much though. It's not that significant. But yeah, beautiful shove, beautiful shove. It's not the best. Honestly, it's not the best. Literally like 20, 30 pips to the upside. Not much. Honestly, not much. But anyway, let us go to the DXY. Let's see what's happening on the DXY. DXY, we can see that we are having that beautiful pushback to the downside, right? So obviously, if we can have that closure below this low right over there, price will just simply find itself having that further continuation dip back to the downside, right? Which will basically just be like an extra confluence to why we would want to see some beautiful longs opening up on the NASDAQ, right? But on the higher time frame, an area which I basically had boxed out is this inversion fee value gap, which we have found ourselves creating right over here, right? And overall structure, we are still somewhat bearish, right? We had a low, higher low, lower low right over there. So we do know that price is always finding itself moving in some impulses and corrections, right? So I'm looking at this as the impulse for the potential correction for the next potential impulsive move back towards the downside, right? So with me basically saying that we are currently finding ourselves potentially creating that actual correction, right? This simply means that there is a high possibility for us seeing some beautiful longs opening up on the NASDAQ, right? And we can see that we do have some beautiful rejections coming through. If we are going to look at the DXY, right? So like confirmation will basically be a closure below these lows, right? A nice closure below these lows, have some sort of a retest, that will basically just find itself giving us like extra confirmation that, yeah, we can find ourselves seeing some beautiful longs opening up on the NASDAQ, right? So ultimately, all I'm finding myself doing is just simply moving with market structure, right? Because at the end of the day, the trend is your friend, right? The trend is literally your friend. So how I'm basically looking at it is that, you know what, when it comes down to fundamentals and when it comes down to technicals, they are finding themselves moving, you know what, hand in hand with one another. Because, I mean, this over here, right? I'm not too sure. Many of you may have heard this, some of you not, right? But how I'm basically looking at it is that this is the coding, right? This is the program behind the scenes, and like the technical part of things, and then the fundamental part of things is basically the visual and the and the the audio part of what's happening over here, right? So with that being said, I'm looking at both of them as they are one, right? I'm looking at both of them as they are one, because how I'm basically looking at it is that, you know what, if I was like one of the big boys, right, or like the feats whatsoever, I sure do think that they most probably would have like a meeting or something, right? A meeting maybe where they discuss where the market is going to go, right, in the next 6 months or the next year or something like that, right? I do believe that they have to find themselves doing something like that, right? Have a meeting where price can potentially hit in the future, and then based off that, they then find themselves conducting the technical analysis, well, the fundamental analysis of things, right? So if they do know that price is going to have some bullish momentum, let's say for instance throughout this quarter whatsoever, then, you know, let's just go hand in hand with that, right? Let's just say some nice bullish things, right? Let's just say some things that's going to push the market towards the upside, because I'm looking at it as, you know, they have to find themselves doing something like that. So they have some insight to where the market can find itself heading. And then just based on the fundamental part of things, they just go, you know, they just say the things, right? So that's basically how I'm finding myself looking at my fundamentals and my technicals, right? So as of now, all I can do is simply just wait. I must say that this is a boring fundamental, right? Literally no movement. What is this? Like 40 pips? Let's see. 50 pips. What is that? What is that, NASDAQ? What's that? That's nothing. That's nothing. That is nothing right there, right? But we can see that we are having some sort of a pullback now, and the shorts actually kind of looks aggressive, right? Kind of looks aggressive, but like I might mention, right, this thing didn't find itself creating a wick right over there, so you know what, we need to find ourselves filling that up right over there. So currently we can see that it is basically being filled, right? So if we can see that push back up, then you know that will be a nice clean one. Let me just check what's happening on the 10-minute time frame. Actually didn't see this. Okay, so if we can see a deeper pullback right there, right there, right there. All right, right there. So now let us be patient and let us wait. I'm just gonna find myself holding this trade maybe till 9:30, right? If I'm consolidating in a loss, I'm just gonna take the loss. If I am in some profits, I'm just gonna close my trade, right? And I'm just simply gonna call it a day. And yeah, you know, let's wait. Let's see. Mike was muted again, right? But I didn't find myself closing this trade, right? I'm still keeping it open, barely survived. But yeah, you know what? I'm still seeing these nice equal highs right over here. So I will be I will be up a little bit longer. Right, I will be up a little bit longer. Funny enough, right? Funny enough, we can now see that we are, or we had found ourselves creating this BOB right over here, right? And currently price is now tapping within the BOB. So all I'm waiting for is, you know what, just a rejection from that BOB right over there, right? Over here, we can see that we also have another actual BOB lining up right there. But the reasoning to why I'm basically saying funny enough is simply because, you know what, also another thing is that we are tapping within an area of demand as well, right? So yeah, I'll be keeping this actual trade like that. 15-minute time frame. I'm looking at this as the impulse correction for the next impulsive move back up. We have two consecutive down close candles, which I do consider as a proper correction. So you know what, there's a higher possibility for us having that shove back up, right? But over the course of today, I basically found myself going through some BOBs, right? And basically just what I am expecting to happen when it comes down to an actual BOB, right? Just so that you can have like a clear understanding when I make mention of a BOB, right? And currently we are tapping within one on the the H1 time frame as well. So that's why I'm quite confident that I will just like simply keep my trade so that it can find itself having that further pushback up. I do know around about 10:30, right, South African time, the market tends to find itself having some volume, right? So maybe that volume can find itself pushing price a little bit to the upside. I will find myself being just chilling out and see how we can find ourselves you know what, just simply see how we are going to find ourselves playing out. I was not planning on waiting this long when it comes down to price, but unfortunately, you know what, when you're inside a trade, you know, it's just a different feeling. You know, it's just a different feeling. So yeah, you know, we are back up in some nice profits. We are back up in some nice profit. And ultimately, we did find ourselves creating an actual overall let me just do this, an overall bullish pattern, high, right, low, right. So first of all, we can see that the low has been violated first, right over there, right? And right after the high was basically being violated, right? So ultimately, all we want to see price do is simply come back into an actual discounted area. There we can see that we came back into the discount. We had a beautiful shift back up, right? And currently, you know what, we can see that price is finding itself being back in an actual discounted area as well, right? So yeah, you know, there's still room for us to have that actual pushback towards the upside. So I'll just be patient, right? Liquidity has been grabbed right over there as well. So yeah, you know, let's wait. Let's wait. Make sure to go check out. Make sure to go check out this content right over here as well. Right. So if you have like any, I want to say, if you find yourself taking away anything from this content, right, you can just simply just hit the like button, right? Hit the subscribe button as well over there and leave a comment as well, right? I will highly appreciate that. I'll highly appreciate that. Okay. So yeah, you know, if you want to look into some BOBs and how I'm basically looking at it, that will be the place to be, right? That will be the place to be. But as if now, let's see what's happening on the over here, right? Now, okay, okay. So we can still see that we are having a beautiful rejection back down, right? We still rejecting from this area, and we literally called out this region, right? I must say that the DXY actually moved quite well, right? When it comes down to our technical analysis, it's just the NASDAQ. Right? It's just the NASDAQ that is finding itself, you know what, just doing what it wants to find itself doing, right? Just doing what it wants to find itself doing. So yeah, you know, we are failing to have that reflection, right? That beautiful shift back up. But it's also understandable because we can see that we are quite overly extended towards the upside, right? Price is at an actual high right now. Yes, you know what, when price is at a high, right, you don't necessarily want to find yourself buying price, right? But I mean, if there's confluences that is basically lining up on the lower time frame, right, I mean, why not, right? Why not? And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Cool, whatever, right? Is what it is. One thing that you basically do have control over is the simple fact that you have the choice whether you want to, or how much you want to risk on a trade, right? Or how much you want to give back to the market. But you know what? One thing we don't have con like complete control over is basically how the market is moving, right? We don't have control over how the market is moving. I don't know what is going to happen next in the market, and I don't care to know what's going to happen next in the market, right? All I can simply find myself doing is just do my technicals. That's giving me the necessary confluence as to why I would want to look for some buys, why I would want to look for some shorts, right? But ultimately, you know what, I'm not always going to be correct, right? I'm not always going to be correct. So yeah, you know, that is also just one thing that you guys need to find yourself, you know, just taking into consideration that if you know that you are wrong, don't beat yourself up. If you are right, don't get too excited, right? Because I mean, for every, this is another inversion, right there, right? So if I can see price have a closure above, right, read this, and then we can see take profit, potentially getting hit right there, right? But yeah, you know, guys, I just lost my train of thought. But ultimately, you know, I just approach the charts how you found yourself training yourself to approach the charts, right? Yeah, you know, you don't need to complicate it. You don't need to find yourself complicating nothing at all, right? Nothing at all. You don't need to find yourself doing that. All right. Yeah, 3 minutes left, 3 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to find itself closing, right? I like this push towards the upside. And like I mentioned, if I'm going to see a closure above the inversion fair value gap, then that simply means that we can potentially have a further shift back up, right? And I will actually favor that, as we do have some relatively equal highs on the lower time frame, right? The lower time frame. And you know what? Is these the type of things that I find myself showing you guys on my YouTube channel? Definitely. Definitely, right? I am showing it. And all you need to find yourself doing is take a book, right? Your journal, have your journal ready, right? And everything that I'm finding myself doing, you just simply write it down and go back test it, right? Back test, back test, back test, back test, right? So many people, when they just simply hear buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, fair value gaps, whatsoever, they just like ICT, 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 right? Cool. Yes. You know what? I did find myself learning buy side and sell side from ICT, right? When it comes down to, and fair value gaps as well, right? When it comes down to a breaker was simply something that I looked at as a area of supply and demand before I even knew ICT, right? So I already had my methodology, right? And sometimes I will find myself getting stopped out. Sometimes I will find myself having take profit hit, right? And eventually I then found myself stumbling on ICT, right? And then ICT basically boxed out like buy side and sell side liquidity, right? And I was like, oh, okay, this is quite interesting, right? And then it all of a sudden just made sense to why I'm sometimes getting stopped out of my trade, right? And I just simply use that and adjust my methodology, right? And same thing when it comes down to supply and demand, right? He basically broke it down as a breaker, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I see you there. Okay, I see you there. And I just simply found myself adjusting it, right? Many people are coming like and they are like, D, that is a turtle soup or like a, I don't know, like this and that, right? A silver bullet and all of that. No, like, well, I don't know, right? I don't know, but I just simply watched the 2022 and I just simply found myself, I just following everything that he said. And then I also did find myself watching some other contents as well, such as the actual, the breaker content, right? But all the other fancy words and everything, right? I don't look at it, I don't put too much emphasis on it, right? Because how I'm basically just looking at it is, you know what? I'm having I want to look for some buys, right? And this is simply a break and retest move, right? A break and retest opportunity. That's it, right? That's how I'm looking at it, as a break and retest, right? I don't complicate it with some other wording whatsoever. I don't need to use all the other complicated things, right? I just simplified it. I used my normal methodology, what I had, and I basically just adjusted, right? And I think that is what each and every single one should be doing when it comes down to their journey as well, right? You are going to find yourself coming across a whole lot of people, because trust me, I also found myself coming across a whole lot of people, right? Many people was basically talking the exact same thing, right? But at the same time, they also present it a little bit differently, right? Like a break and retest, whether you are trading support, resistance, right? There's going to be specific areas that you are going to look out for, right? When it comes down to support and resistance, you're going to wait most probably for the a bullish or bearish engulfing candle, right? You're most probably going to wait for an EMA crossover, and you're going to participate with price whatsoever, right? But if I'm finding myself going long, if Joe is finding himself going long, if Sarah is finding herself going long, if um, Bob is finding himself going long, right? We all find ourselves going long, right? The only difference is that, you know what? We may find ourselves just going long at a different time, right? And a different place inside the market, but we all find ourselves going long, right? Main point is that if you can just simply identify that this is a potential point of interest where you would like to find yourself looking for some longs or for some shorts, that's all you need, right? That's literally all you need. That's the decision that you need to find yourself making. Whether this is on a day-to-day basis, if you are a scalp trader or an intraday trader every few days, if you're a swing trader every few, I don't know, few days, few weeks, whatsoever. But all you want to do is identify a potential point of interest, and that's where you want to find yourself seeing price react from, right? You may look at an area where you want to see an EMA cross, then you're going to participate with price. The next person may want to find him or herself looking at a range to be broken out of, right? And then find themselves going long. Someone may find themselves wanting to look for the bullish engulfing, then find themselves going long. I maybe find myself wanting to look for the breaker and then find myself going long, right? Different methodologies. We all find ourselves going long. We all find ourselves, taking our profits whatsoever. We're all happy, cool, right? Cool, and that's that, right? That's literally it. That's it, right? And when I basically say this is a you versus you journey, that's what I also mean, right? You need to find yourself being able to identify certain areas within the market to where you're like, okay, this is a potential area, right? And if you're wrong, nobody cares, right? Nobody cares if you are wrong. You are the only person who cares, right? You're the only person who cares, really. And it's perfectly fine to feel some type of way when you're wrong, because I mean I also do feel some type of way when I'm wrong as well, right? But do I find myself beating myself up for being wrong, right? No. Sometimes when I do find myself maybe risking a little bit more on my trade, right, and I find myself being wrong, then I may be like disappointed in myself, right? Not disappointed because I took an L on the trade, but disappointed in myself because I broke my rules, right? I Yeah, I just simply found myself breaking my rules, and that will be the reasoning to why I will be disappointed in myself, right? So I guess we all have, yeah, different ways in how we are dealing with certain things, right? But ultimately, as a trader, all you need to do is just find yourself. Just find yourself, my brother. Just find yourself, my sister. PM session mode. Nice. Nice. Nice, just like as I'm now talking to you guys. All right. One of our partners in the community also found himself going long. All right, also found himself going long. And you know what? Nice. Nice. Perfect. That's nice. I love it. All this close. Well done. Well done, my brother. Well done. It's just like that. Boom. All right. So at this current moment, no, at least wait. Let us wait. All right, let's wait. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Look at that. Look at that. Right, look at that. So clean stuff, right? Beautiful inversion fair value gap. We came back into it. We had a shift back down, right? We just simply went to go visit a 1 minute fair value gap over here. Look at that. We just visit a nice 1 minute fair value gap right there. And we had a beautiful shift back up, right? Even over here, if we're going to look at PA, what we have found ourselves creating right there as well, right? Once again, another little breaker right there, right? I can most probably remove that now. Another little breaker right over there. Closure above, came back for the retest. We had a beautiful shift towards the upside from that area onwards, right? We then left an untested area, and price simply just came back to an untested region, which was this fair value gap which we created right there. And you know what, beautiful shift towards the upside from there. All right, fam, listen, make sure to head over to the YouTube channel at Trader Nix, right? And make sure to go check out that content right over there. It's gonna be valuable to each and every single one of you. And until next time, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Much love from me, your boy D. I'm out.